It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got the Seahawks. Rocket on quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Seahawks and the Broncos. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. But this guy, he is hard to corral.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Fights through him, fighting him off. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun throw for Stick. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Pushing his way through, and they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And he's run the ball well to this point in the season, right there in the mix for NFL leaders in rushing. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The numbers for Walker from last week's effort: 21 carries, 122 yardage-wise, and a score as well.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker runs and always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. 48 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time, but even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. And he stopped immediately there. Cody Barton there to bring him down. Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
A lot depending on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. They'll give this to Moss running right. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's their quarterback. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff-worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down. Here's Stick looking to throw. Here's White. They set up the screen. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Stick to throw once more. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Now Stick. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. Now is the punter, Jordan Stout. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and I hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. As they've got it as we resume action. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. On the counter, it's Walker. Shoves him aside. Oh, he sheds himself free. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
Back to throw. Baker. Touchdown! Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Still first down.
Straight ahead, Estime. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
First carry for Rachaad White. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
They'll hand it to Estime. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Off play action, it's Stick. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Offense is moving a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Got his man over the middle. This is quick. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. Stick from the gun. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Boye Mafe in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here they're trying to make it 3 in a row. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 99 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And
blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Operating from the gun, Baker. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Stick looks to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Stick back to pass. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over his next few plays. Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, If you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't,
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 79 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw.
Quick completion here to Johnson.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. This is White. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Broncos 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
He's got his man quick. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 32 on the play.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stick looks to throw it again. That's complete right around the 8. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
Back to throw again. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the 1st half winds down.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Unable to corral him. He fights through. Inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. Running right, here's Estime. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 2nd and 9 now. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Boy, 192 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
42 yards.
And the Seahawks add 6 to their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Denver's offense now set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. Able to shake him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Open man is Barner, the tight end.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's a gain of 2. That's another Seahawks.
Looking to throw. Baker. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. From the gun on 3rd down, Baker. And they'll get him down 2 yards shy after a pickup of 8. 4th and 2.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Baker. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
That's another Seahawks first down.
Looking to throw. Baker. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal.
This just 32 yards officially from the right hash.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Here's Stick looking to throw.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Running out of the gun with White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Officially nothing on